Hi guys, welcome back to the next video. In this video, we are going to work with another interesting topic, which is labels. So we are going to look at command line pod creation with labels. So let me clear my screen and then let's get it started with. So I'm just zooming in a little bit. As I'm in the 3 sessions between one screen, so I can have only a specific amount of size. I couldn't go beyond that. I'm trying to maximize this one so that the manager is where we're going to execute most of the commands. And then I'll just show it a little bit extra as well so that you can understand what's going on with the manager. Now, labels are very important on Kubernetes because you're going to sort, because you're going to have the hundreds and thousands of pods running on a production system or in a development system. So you should always know how to sort your pods via labeling and how to label your pods when you're creating from command line. I will do the same thing when I'm going to teach you about the YAML file or when we're talking about creating pods using manifest or YAML files. So I will more in detail talk about the labels there when it comes to that. Don't worry about it. So as we're doing the command line execution of these files, so I'm going to talk more about the command line over here. A very simple command, kube control run web1. So make sure you've run the for loop command so that you would have deleted all the existing pods so that it will not throw exception saying that web1 already exists. As the name of the pod is unique, so do remember to remove all those pods after you complete a specific session. -- image equal to httpd, -- restart equal to never, -- labels. So this is where we add the new label over here. So you can give app equal to Apache HTTP service. So likewise, so you're giving it as a label right now. So now there is an exception over here. It's because of the spelling. Sorry about that. So now the labels, the pod has been created with the label kube control get pods -show -labels. Now you can see that the label which we are assigned over here has come through. So this is how you can check the label as per the pod. So if you want to create another pod over here called web2 with the same image, so this time what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 labels over here. One is it's an Apache HTTP server, correct? And we are also going to say that this environment is production. So in this way, I can do add, and then I can also say not equal to. Likewise, there are multiple options over here, which we will talk later. But when you're adding this, when you're creating a specific pod, then there is no option of not equal to at that time. But when you're listing the pod, that's when you can use all these options. But then I'm just telling you that there is something like that. So don't worry, I will explain you that. So now you can see that this command is going to create a pod web2, and it's going to create it with the Apache HTTP server image. And it's going to have 2 labels over here. So one is the app label, another one is the env label. So now you can see that it has created the server instance. Now you can see that this has 2 labels over here. And Comma is going to separate each label from one another, as you can add multiple labels as part of a specific pod. So that tells you what exactly the purpose of the pod, what application it belongs to. It could be app name, could be an application name, it could be a specific, it could call a specific functionality of the application, or it could be about the whole the department where the application is working. So it could be any of those details. That's all I'm saying. So once you have done that, you can use the when you're searching for pods, right? So you can use this option over here, cube control get pods -L. So -L is going to talk about labels, and then here you are searching for labels which has an app name of Apache HTTP. So right now it's just not showing. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. So that's the capital letters. So you can see that this is the one. You can add this command with show labels as well, so that it will show the labels for those. Now, what you can do over here is, like, rather than this, you can actually select this one where you want to see the pods which is in the production environment. Now you can see that there is only one particular pod in that such situation. So this is something you can work with. Do remember in my coding, I've used a smaller HTTP over here. So I would have given a smaller HTTP over here as well. But here on the hands-on, I have modified it to HTTP, capital HTTP. So I've given over here capital HTTP. So do remember that there's a change over there. So you have to see what you have given in terms of understand the labels, and then execute the command based on what you have done earlier. Now we are going to create another pod over here, and this pod is going to be named as Web3, of course. It's going to have the same exact parameters and everything else, but then there's one extra parameter here which is need to be modified. So in the environment as production, I'm going to give it as development. So now that I've given development as the environment over here, so now what actually has happened is that I have created another pod with this development environment. So when I do a cube get pods, show labels, and I can see 3 pods. Sorry, let me rephrase that. When I use cube control get pods, show labels, and you can see 3 of these pods with different labels over here. Now you have an option of advanced searching. So for example, I can search it as I searched before. Like for example, I can search only for production once, or I can just search it for the one which I searched like this, like which has Apache HTTP service. Now you can see that all 3 has Apache HTTP service. So you can see all those 3. But what if I wanna find only the production which has Apache HTTP server, not the development environment? So there is a command for that. So this is what I was talking about. So here I am looking for 3 labels over here. App, which should be Apache HTTP server. Environment should be production, but environment should also not equal to development. You don't want the environment which is not equal to development. Sorry about that. I have not given the capital HTTP. Now, after giving the capital HTTP, you can see that I got one of this entry, and this one entry talks about the production. So this has the environment name as production. It has the Apache HTTP server as Apache. But what it is not showing me is the development. So if I don't give this option right now, you will see 2 of, you're already getting 1, right? So let's just do like this. So let's get this one. And what you don't want is the development environment. So what you can do is, like here, you can do not equal to. So now you can see the development environment is not coming over here. Only what you can see is the production environment and the one which has not been assigned at all. So only those 2 are coming up. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you in terms of a high level sorting, and this is very important for you when you go further down the line where you want to search for multiple application, and they will tell you that your pods are deployed in this application and in this environment you need to modify and you need to scale up or scale down. So for that, you need to understand first how many pods are there. To understand that, you need to first sort it via app equal to the application name, service equal to the service name, and then environment equal to that name. And you have to also choose what you don't want to get displayed over here. Once you have got that information, then you should be able to work with it. You can also integrate it with the for loop. So for example, this for loop has a command over here. So what this command does is like, it gets the pod names, but without the header. It's not going to include this header. And it's also going to only look for names over here. -o is name. And then it basically takes the first output over here, print $2. So in this scenario, what you can do is like with this command, you can also add this in this one. And this will only give you the output. So let's see what is output right now before we add this command. You can see that there are three names it's choosing. Now, when I do this sorting, you can see only 2 names are chosen. So because it has ignored the development environment. Likewise, you can combine this with multiple other commands, and then you can actually get a proper result in terms of while searching or sorting your Kubernetes pods. Thank you again for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.